Nintendo is a company that has been around for a while and has had many legendary franchises over the years. Just about everyone on Earth can talk to you about Mario, Zelda, or Pokemon, and Nintendo's other franchises like F-Zero, Star Fox, and Kid Icarus have their own recognition too. But for me, there's one franchise that has maintained a cult following over the years and is sorely overlooked by Nintendo. It was a game that was made for Americans, but it never came out in America on its intended system, the Nintendo 64. And the game we got was Sin and Punishment for the Nintendo 64, developed by Treasure. The game was supposed to come out for the Nintendo 64 later in its life, but due to the 64 ending its production earlier than expected, the game woefully remained in Japan until 2007 when it was released on the Wii Virtual Console. And full disclosure here, I freaking love Treasure. Just about every game I've played for them has been an absolute home run hitter. Whether it's Gunstar Heroes, Guardian Heroes, Dynamite Headdy, Alien Soldier, Astro Boy Mega Factor, Bangai-O, and two games you might know as by Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga, two of the best spaceship shooting games of all time. When I played Sin and Punishment back in the day on the Virtual Console, I had high hopes and was pleasantly surprised with the title. And after talking about the Nintendo 64 in a previous video, I got the itching again to play this overlooked title. So, we have the Wii U here. I have it downloaded on my Wii U here, so let's download and check out Sin and Punishment for the Nintendo 64, being played on the Wii U. Yeah.
Good morning, Saki.
Good morning, Iron.
Come on, we've got work to do.
Sin and Punishment is a brutal shoot-'em-up from Treasure. I noted in a different episode that the controller for the Nintendo 64 is very bizarre, putting it lightly. Knowing this, they designed Sin and Punishment around the controller. You aimed with the analog stick and moved with the D-pad, and I would imagine that works quite well. One of Treasure's other games for the Nintendo 64, Bangai-O, had a similar setup. I have that game on Dreamcast, and it's also really rad. We're playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console. My Wii U is a bit dusty for obvious reasons, but thankfully, it still works. I'm using the Hori GameCube pad for the Wiimote and the magic of button mapping to help out for this review. One thing that will take gamers off by surprise is the fully English voice acting, but don't get too excited. There's no Steve Bloom or Michelle Ruff or Orson Welles in here. Treasure kidnapped any expat off the street for voice acting, and well, I think the results speak for themselves.
There, that should get the elevator moving.
You think they're onto us?
Maybe, but they're probably more worried about the ruffians.
I hear voices up above.
I'll check it out. Just keep the elevator moving. Talk!
I like how Saki sounds like a teen in cutscenes and a 35-year-old in gameplay. In the distant year of 2007, mutant creatures named ruffians start attacking the Earth. Yes, really, ruffians. The armed volunteers are found to fight the ruffians, but in their war, the volunteers leave destruction in their wake. Our player characters of Saki, yes that's a boy, and Iron, along with their boss Achi, set out to finish the fight once and for all. If you're getting an Evangelion feeling here, you aren't the only one. Up until Eternal Darkness, this might have been the darkest Nintendo published game. There's mentions of societal collapse, and there's a scene where Japan is covered in blood. Yikers. Well, if apocalypse is gonna happen, you might as well do it in style. Gameplay is fairly intuitive once you get used to the controls. All you need to do is run and shoot everything that moves. Easy enough. Your weapon of choice is a multi-purpose weapon with two types of fire and a lightsaber for good measure. The standard shot is a normal shot that needs to be aimed, but it does good damage. The auto shot locks onto targets but doesn't do as much damage as the normal shot. And the sword is used for close range combat and can reflect certain attacks back at your opponent for huge damage and points. I recommend not getting so comfortable with the auto shot, otherwise you'll be in for a nasty surprise in level 2. Saying that, both auto and free shots have their uses. For the most part, levels are on a 2D playing field with Saki and Iron, running and jumping as the stage moves automatically. There's a few stages that mix things up, like 3-2, which is a free 2D side-scroller like Gunstar Heroes, but for the most part, everything is auto-scrolling. So most games go like this: stage, sub-boss, stage, then level boss. Treasure, being Treasure, is a bit more on the boss-heavy side of things than other companies. Expect a lot of boss battles in Sin and Punishment, from ruffians to an annoying cat thing to a goddamn missile. Sin and Punishment keeps you on your toes, and punishment is in order in this game. This game is brutal. Bullets and bad guys are everywhere. Bosses throw everything at you besides the kitchen sink, and that's only because they forgot to rip it out of the wall. If that wasn't enough, there's a strict 99-second time limit on each stage, and some bosses just love to waste your time. This douchebag in the memory train stage is like arguing with someone on NeoGAF. You tear them down and they just keep coming back for more. Repeat gameplay is key to get through Sin and Punishment in one piece, but thanks to the fast arcade style nature of the game, you'll want to go back for more each time. And for the record, all this is being played on the normal difficulty. Oh boy, a mind rape level. Now all of Tokyo is covered in blood. This really is Evangelion, ain't it? All it needs is daddy issues and a whack-ass tsundere waifu and we're in business. Just saying, Asuka, whack as hell. Hell, most tsunderes are pretty whack. Reyes Bay. Remember that, kids. Honestly, by chapter 3, I kind of tuned out of the plot. It just got too ridiculous for my taste. Saki goes full ruffian, and to get him back, Iron goes into his brain to return him to human form, which works in a very Freudian sort of way. We then play as Saki in a half-ruffian, half-human state in Hokkaido, where we find out that Achi is the one behind everything. Then we go back into the ruffian form, defending our Earth from a different Earth, and for a final boss, this wasn't that intense. I threw auto-fire on with the reticule aimed at one half of the screen while keeping Saki on the other half of the screen, using his sword to deflect bullets back at the fake Earth. We kill the fake Earth, and the game is over! Yay! Huh. So, that was it? Well, that wasn't so bad. And that's Sin and Punishment for you. Some say this game is a little bit short, but in my opinion, it's a pretty good length. There's a lot of replay value, and honestly speaking, you saw all that crap I had to dodge. Do you honestly want to do all of that for like 60 to 70 hours? No, you do not, sir. No, you do not. When the game dropped on the Virtual Console in 2007, it sold really well. Well enough for Nintendo to greenlight a sequel. So they got Treasure to make Sin and Punishment Star's successor for the Nintendo Wii. So, the Wii U's still on. Let's check out Star's successor for the Nintendo Wii, being played on the Wii U. Gameplay here in Star's successor on the Wii is more or less the same. Thanks to using controllers that are meant for human hands, the control is much better. Personally, I use the Wiimote pointer plus nunchuck combo for accurate shooting. And the sequel, the two characters are Issa, Saki, and Iron's child, and a mysterious being named Kachi. Bet you can't guess who she's based on. The plot is Jared from Subway is trying to enlist an army to capture Kachi, and Issa ain't having any of it. Especially now that they got rid of that lit $5 footlong program. Obviously, the graphics took a bit of a step up from the Nintendo 64 game, though the color palette is a bit too drab for my taste. And Issa's outfit is stupid. The vest and the shorts are okay, but why the thigh-high boots? That's too much as it is, but why the gloves? So he has something to match his disco jetpack thing? All he needs is a pair of goggles and cat earphones to complete the ensemble.
Kachi, you okay?
Of course. Good as new.
Wait. Play that again? Sachi is impaled with a spike and lives. Okay, she ain't human. I can dig it. But how does she get down so fast without bicententing herself? Gameplay is the same as the first. Shoot everything that moves, and even if it isn't moving, shoot it anyway because it might spawn dogs with bee missiles that will shoot you. This time around, Issa and Kachi are armed with a very useful charge shot that is great for clearing out a grip of bad guys in addition to the weapons used in the previous game. Pro tip, the last hit of the sword combo cannot be cancelled with a roll, so time your melee strikes accordingly. Another change from the 64 title is that Issa and Kachi can fly around the screen freely, so up yours, gravity! This means that there are more places to escape to, but this also means that there's going to be more bullets on the screen to avoid. Star's successor is more of a bullet hell game than the first, if you can believe it. I will say, thanks to the smoother controls and the addition of the charge shot, Star's successor is a much more approachable game than Successor to the Earth, but no less challenging. It's significantly longer too. If you're looking for some solid arcade action with a slice of ham on the Wii, look no further than Sin and Punishment, Star's successor. And that's Sin and Punishment for you. There's 2 games in the series so far, and honestly, we need a 3rd game. Both Sin and Punishment on the 64 and Star Successor on the Wii are both amazing games, and it's a shame we haven't gotten the 3rd one yet. With the Switch being as hot as it is right now, we need a new Sin and Punishment game. And I'm pretty sure, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, Treasure, they ain't doing much these days. They're not making Ikaruga 2 or whatever. Get them to make a 3rd Sin and Punishment game, Nintendo. Let's get it. And while they are getting it, I recommend you liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell as well to get notified whenever I upload a new video, and yeah, sharing the video as well. Follow me on Twitter at ZMangs and on Instagram at ZMangs. I have been an Instagram monster as of late, so you definitely need to check me out on your Instagrams. And I think I'm going to end the video at that. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next week for a new episode of The ZMan Show. Take care everybody, and see you later. I hope you like the new hair because this is going to grow back in like another week.